Tottenham Hotspur kicked off their Premier League season with a 3-0 win versus Burnley at home. And honestly, there's so much stuff to take away from this game. From Richarlison announcing himself in style, Kudus putting away another brilliant performance in the record books, Sarr absolutely proving why he's completely undroppable for this Tottenham Hotspur side, and Thomas Frank's Spurs are already looking incredible. And listen, if you want Spurs to keep on winning games, be sure to drop a like and a subscribe, because I heard that if you actually drop a like and subscribe, then Spurs will keep on winning. So if you want them to beat Manchester City next weekend, drop a like, drop subscribe, and let's get right into this video, because man, I am so gassed for Spurs this season, and this game was just beautiful to watch from top to bottom. Breaking it all down right from the first whistle, Spurs came out extremely strong. The pressing was sharp, the midfield was full of energy, and you could tell immediately that Thomas Frank had a huge difference with this team selection. He rotated a lot, so for PSG, we saw Paulinho and Bentancur in that midfield, but in this game, Frank went with a much more youthful and leggy midfield, and we saw, of course, the likes of Bergvall, Gray, and Sarr, and it completely changed the tempo from top to bottom. And it's no surprise that the opening goal starts with Sarr. So he wins that crucial second ball in midfield, drives the play forward, and from there, Kudus does what Kudus does, beats his man out wide, puts in a quality cross, and Richarlison finishes it with his right foot into the bottom corner. Classic striker's goal, but Richarlison had a lot of work to do with this goal. It wasn't a simple cross in. I think it was an actually proper finish from him. But it's all built off of Sarr's hard work. And if you notice throughout the game, Sarr was pretty much everywhere. He's winning second balls, he was running over the pitch, he's putting tackles in like a madman. And Sarr's been doing this pretty much since the first game of preseason. And especially in the first half, Sarr was seen breaking up play a lot, tackling, carrying the ball in that spaces, and distributing the ball very, very smartly. And he's becoming the heartbeat of this midfield, and he's pretty much undroppable. I don't see how you can drop Sarr with the way that he's playing right now. He's literally undroppable, and a midfield that doesn't include Pat Matter Sarr is not a midfield that I want in this team. Genuinely, he is such a quality player. So if we actually have a look at how this goal came about, so you saw Kudus come down here on this side, and I think Sarr did a really good job at winning the ball around this area, and he was pretty much able to get a ball right back up to a Mohamed Kudus, and Kudus finds the ball in this sort of area down here on the right hand side, and Kudus does fantastically, and we've seen him do this so much since he's been at Spurs, but he pretty much just takes the outside way out. And what I love about Kudus is that he can either go inside or Kudus can go outside. He can go either way, and as a fullback, you have no clue which way that he's really going to go, because he can go like quite literally either way. So with Mohamed Kudus, he went outside, took his man around this side, completely left him in the dust, and he did really well to get a nice, beautiful ball into this space to Richarlison. And all Richarlison has to do here is just have a shot on non-net. There we go. So yeah, we saw Kudus take his man outside, cross in, and then Richarlison has a beautiful finish. And it wasn't an easy finish either, because what Richarlison had to do was pretty much like take his leg over his body a little bit and just slot it nicely into that corner over here. So it was a solid finish by Richarlison, and I commend him for that. And he's looking like a proper number 9. And I've been saying this for so long, and so has many other Spurs fans. But if you can keep Richarlison fit, he's actually a really quality striker. He's really, really good. And if you check his goals per minute in terms of like how much he actually plays versus goals, he's up there with some of the best in the Premier League. So when he's actually playing, when he's actually fit, he's one of the best strikers in the Premier League, and that there's no doubt about that. I also want to touch on a lot of the good work that we were doing in terms of like our strikers dropping deep and linking up play and playing out the back. So this is almost like a lot of good work, but at the same time, kind of a problem for Spurs. So what we see a lot when we're trying to play out the back is we get the ball in these areas, either at Taporo or Romero. And what happens a lot is we either go long. Oops, sorry, this thing, man. We either go long over to Kudus, and then what Kudus essentially has to do is, and he's really elite at it as well, is he retains the ball and he has to hold off this fullback that's right on him. And he drops deep as a fullback that's pressuring him as well. And pretty much it's up to Kudus to hold off his man as he's being pressured and coming down. And he's able to lay it off to either like a Sarr, play him onto the 1-2, or lay it back to Porro. Or we saw it a lot of the times where Kudus comes in, and he's still holding onto the ball, and he actually breaks free from the pressure. And he's able to get a beautiful cross over to switch play to Spence. And Spence receives the ball. And we actually saw this a lot throughout the game. So Kudus and his hold-up play is essential in terms of how we want to break out and how we want to play out as a team. And we also saw a lot of good work from Richarlison, where either you'd have Sarr dropping deep, or you'd have a Gray dropping deep, and you have Burwell pushing up a little bit more. And you would have Richarlison coming deep to receive the ball from a Sarr or a Gray, and his hold-up play would be so phenomenal. He'd receive the ball, hold up off the center back, and he would lay it off to a Lucas Bergvall. And then Bergvall would be able to spread the ball out to Mohamed Kudus or a Porro that's pushing up, and then we'd be off to go and counterattack and play out. So I thought we did a lot of good work here. And Richarlison, take a bow, because your hold-up play has been immense, man. It's been beautiful to watch. But I think it's very clear, and I think Thomas Frank said this too, or one of the players or something like that, but like their job is, as wingers, is to get service into the striker. So we saw Johnson a lot of the times getting crosses in, sort of like from this angle with his right foot, crossing balls into Richarlison. You had Kudus sometimes popping up at the back as well. But the goal was to just get crosses in to give our strikers the service. And while I love this, I think the problem is that clearly Kudus is elite at his crossing. He has an amazing cross on him. We saw it twice where he's able to get crosses in, and you have Richarlison doing insane finishes in the box. But the problem is that with the left side, Johnson isn't the best crosser, and then Spence is a shitty crosser. So you have this problem where the right side has a crossing ability with Porro and Kudus, but the left side is suspect. And this is where a player like Savinho comes in crucial. Because if you get Savinho on here instead of a Johnson, then both wingers have the potential to deliver dangerous crosses in, which leaves the defenders and the fullbacks guessing on which to double up on. If you double up on one, then it's going to leave a lot of space in the middle for the other players to have a shot on the net or have a go. So yeah, Savinho is crucial to this team. He needs to come in. So after that first early goal, Spurs were in control, but they didn't really get too much after that, and there was risk of Burnley potentially even coming back. And if we didn't get that second goal, then yeah, I think we would have gone down to the wire for sure. But thankfully, Richarlison did a lot of good work in terms of dropping deep, linking up play, and even defending as well. And his hold-up play was so good, as I said before, and it allowed players like Sarr and Gray to keep recycling the ball and control the tempo. And this allowed us to maintain the entire midfield and not give Burnley anything there. The defensive side, Romero had a little bit of, well, let's say, a nightmare. Sloppy passes, rash fouls, definitely not his best performance, but luckily we have Mickey van de Ven blood. Mickey van de Ven cleaning up and doing a lot of the danger, and keeping us very solid. So Romero, Stinker, van de Ven, excellent. And let's be honest, there are moments where Burnley's press caught us out just a little bit. Few poor decisions when playing out from the back almost invited a lot of trouble. But the cheat code for breaking up the press was, like we said, Mohamed Kudus. Brother, this guy is so good at football. This guy brings the fun back to football. This guy is a straight maverick, and the Premier League doesn't have too many mavericks anymore. But when I see Mohamed Kudus, that brother, he is a maverick, man. His retention, his strength, his ability to beat the man. Bro, I gotta stop the glaze, man. I gotta stop the glaze because he's so good. He's so good. So anyways, right out of halftime, Spurs started being way more direct. Quicker passing, more front-footed play, and more attempts to break down Burnley with 1-2s and vertical runs. Gray, in particular, really stepped up with some line-breaking passes, and that gave us consistent momentum leading up to the second goal. And bro, oh my days. Richarlison, you had me screaming like a madman. You had me losing my shit, bro. Roll the footage. Poro, Kudus. Nice, Kudus! Richarlison! Oh! Oh! Oh my gosh! 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 So yeah, Kudus beats his man again down the right, whips across, and Richarlison pulls off an insane scissor kick. It's almost a carbon copy of his 2022 World Cup goal for Brazil. Goal of the season contender from day one. Even maybe a Puskas Award winner shout. So, bro, Richarlison had the entire stadium going crazy. Notifications popping up on my phone, freaking everyone losing their damn minds, man. So, bro, this guy, man, if he can keep performing like this on a consistent basis, Dominic Solanke, you're having your chain snatched. You might not see a starting minute for a long time, because if Richarlison keeps playing like this, bro, tough conversations need to be had. Spurs were not done there. The third goal is probably my favorite because it's a proper team move. It starts with Richarlison holding a play again, brilliantly laying it off to Sarr. And what does Sarr do? Plays a gorgeous through ball in behind for Brennan Johnson. Johnson takes a touch and finishes it with confidence. 3-0 to Spurs. That's the type of goal that shows what this team could potentially become and what it is becoming. Not just moments of magic, but coordinated moves where every single player is doing their job. So overall, I think Tottenham played really well. And yeah, there were some areas to improve in the game, and the overall reliance on crosses from the right-hand side and the lack of consistent creativity without Madison and Kulusevski and Romero's shaky performance. But the structure's there. The structure is there, and you can see exactly what Thomas Frank is trying to build. Energy in the midfield, fluidity in attack, and tactical flexibility and advantages all across the pitch, from the long throw-ins to set pieces. Everywhere, Thomas Frank is trying to gain an advantage in this football match throughout the entire game. And of course, Sarr is undroppable, and the Kudus is already the main man. And Richarlison looks like a player revitalized like none before. And Brennan Johnson, even though this guy ghosts and does nothing all game, he still pops up with the elite finishing. So the question then becomes, what the hell are we going to do about this squad and about this team? There's so many players here that need game time. And if players like Richarlison start performing well, what happens to Solanke? If players like Brennan Johnson keeps banging in goals, what happens to Tell and Odebear? Now bringing a potential Savinho and Eze, where are the minutes going to come from these players? Does Tell have to go on loan? Does Odebear have to go on loan? What are we going to do? There's lots of decisions to be made, but it's a good problem to have. And it's been so long since we could look at a Tottenham squad and say, wow, we actually have proper options off the bench. So I'm hyped, man. I'm so hyped. But let's be real. It is only Burnley, but as far as opening day statements go, that was about as perfect as you could probably get. I think when it comes to what we're going to do this season, it's just going to be case dependent. There's not really going to be a fixed starting 11. You're going to have times where you're going to go for a younger, more leggy midfield that we saw today against Burnley, or you're going to have times where you're going to want more defensive structure, more stability, and more calmness and control, and that's going to be maybe like a Paulinho and Bentancur duo. So we're going to be rotating a lot, and there's going to be a lot of games this season. The only thing is, does this squad have the quality that it needs to be able to compete on all fronts? And right now, I'm still not convinced, but it's coming. The foundation is there. It's just about adding to this team, and I keep banging this drum, and I keep knocking down this door. But Eze, Savinho, get them in. Eze's so close. He's probably going to be coming to Spurs. It's probably going to happen. So get the job done. Get this player in, and then move on to Savinho and get him in too. And bro, I'm seeing links to Hincape. There's no way that we have a window of Kudus, Eze, Savinho, and Hincape in one window. There's just no way. That would be probably the best Spurs transfer window that we have ever seen. So until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. But overall, man, you can see what Thomas Frank is trying to do. It's just about getting him the right players that he needs to be able to perform on a consistent basis and to compete on all fronts. So Daniel Levy, let's go, get the players in and back the manager. Anyways, that's my breakdown of Spurs' 3-0 win over Burnley, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments below and what you guys thought of the match, especially Richarlison's wonder goal. So yeah, let me know down below, and if you want to see how this performance compares to our last game, go check out my breakdown of the PSG match where I explain what Spurs did well even in defeat. Trust me, it'll give you even more context for what this win means for Spurs and what we're trying to do this season. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.